okay, well, I'm just going to go ahead and hit the record button and start off by saying, like, you know, when people say, oh, you're my favorite, I think it's really inappropriate, but there's no one else here. So I think that you have a primary I can't even say it. Okay, I think you have a primary guardian angel who is your grandfather, and honestly, I think you're the favorite. You know, I don't need names. I'll just start talking about them. You want me to go with the old people vibes? I'll pull through the old people vibes. You know, and so, anyways, this person is very this male. Let's go with the male. Male, primary guardian angel, older, had a hard time getting around toward the end. I feel like he's kind of like squatting up and down, like on his knees, like, hey, these work. So I don't think that I think that he kind of deteriorated physically toward the end and probably, you know, either had a lot of pain in his legs or had, which led to like a difficulty walking, not getting up so much. I kind of see him at home, sitting in the back of the living room in the same spot, deteriorating of whatever medical thing it was. Not in a bad way. I'm just saying like a medical thing over time, lose functionality, something underlying slowly takes us probably pass it home, if not at home, totally comfortable. Okay, cool. That is a primary guardian angel. Also goes and tells me a story about his life, about how, you know, he could have served, he could have been a firefighter, but it's in a work of adventure. Oh, let me tell you this, and we did this, and we hauled 40 freaking trees out the woods that day, or something. He just got stories for days. Love, 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 love. Then you've got, if I'm pulling up the realm of grandparents here, you've got this female, and she is shorter. She is very warm to give hugs to. She is shorter than me, and I'm 5'4", okay? She tells me, she goes, cancer, medical stuff, arthritis, name it. So she just tells me she passes of just a couple of medical things on top of each other for the most part. She likes to be home. I can't say we're at home toward the end, though. I feel like I'm looking for home, and then it's like bright and sunshiny, almost like a hospital. So I was like, okay, maybe we went somewhere that we're being taken care of like home. We were at home, then we went away from home. Maybe we were just a little delulu toward the end. You just never know. Oh, hospice at home too. Okay, beautiful. Are you talking about the female as well? Always home up until the last 2 weeks. Oh, that makes sense. I was like, I feel like you're home, but then like right toward the end, I'm not seeing home. I'm seeing somewhere else that I'm being taken care of. So she was always home right up until the last 2 weeks. Beautiful. What else other than being a shorty pants? Okay, so I think it's a multitude of things. I think you could have, first it was hospice at home. Yeah, makes sense. I think she could have a cancer and then a high blood pressure and a diabetic problem. You know, just kind of like three whammies all in one, and it was kind of like a cauldron of the perfect mixture kind of feels. And so the female, I feel like there might be, I know this is weird, but could be a piece of furniture she passed down. But I feel like there's something from her home. It could be clothes, sure, simple things, clothes, something in honor of her memory. Could even be a piece of furniture. Could be the whole fucking house. We don't know. But she talks about something physical being passed down that maybe somebody still has as well. Okay, so I would say the male's a primary guardian angel, and then you have the female as a secondary guardian angel. So we got mom's dad and dad's mom. So so you said grandparents, and I'm like, one from that side, one from that side. I'm on it. Okay, I kind of love that, not gonna lie. So what do we have in honor of this grandma's memory? That's one thing I'd love to know. If anyone has something of hers, or maybe even what was it, if there is something. Right. You're like, I don't want it too random. Stick to the grandparents. Oh, everyone has something of hers. Okay, great. There's plenty. There's plenty of stuff. I had her mother's wedding ring. Dang, you're just keeping it in the whole family. See, you guys are traditional. I like it. I like it a lot, ladies and gentlemen. And my dad has her dad's antique car. And I'm like, this is something bigger than a piece of jewelry, guys. Oh, and her daughter got her house. So her daughter got her house. The dad got a car. I'm like, sure, we have all the things inside of it. And then we have the freaking furniture. sure. Someone might even have the house. In fact, someone does have the house. Someone has the antique car, and everybody has a little something from this lady. Cool. She loves that. She loves the way her memories being honored. She feels like she can live on through the things that are still active from her life because they've got her memory in it. So loves pretty much everything about everything that's going on. And then she looks at you, she goes, what about you? How's everything going? And she goes, quit worrying so much about money or it's never going to happen. You know, what if you sat there and stared at a pot, you're waiting to make noodles for 4 years, and then you realize, oh, you didn't turn it on. Duh, there's our passion. You're looking for passion. So she had 8 kids, and everyone got something. So she talks about you not worrying about money, and don't forget, it takes passion. It takes excitement to make the current flow. Otherwise, you just feel like you're a stuck human in the stuck human world. And that's normal, but you got to have a little hope. You got to have a little faith. You got to have a little excited about something. And then that's when your days start to change, she said. And then this male, right? Her family business, but not my passion. Is that what you're working in? Are you working in her family business? You're like, right, her family business and not my passion. Oh my goodness. Wow. So been waiting to change that, yes. And so you're working at her family business and you're trying to find something you're passionate about. Okay, that's pretty freaking cool. Trying to run her business and she's not even the primary guardian angel. What the hell? Okay, honestly, a little stinker butt. Anywho, so the male on the other side, while we still have a minute or so left, we can sneak in on here. And if anyone else needs me, just book a private session. I've got tomorrow, and then I'll be back on Thursday for some of these. But if you want it private, I might have another appointment available tomorrow, so check it out. Okay, so as far as this male goes, what did he do for work? Would love to know. He says that he served or did something of service, and then how did he pass? Remember when he said he wasn't walking around a whole lot, or a medical way he deteriorates and then passes? Can you see if the other grandfather comes through? That one was Navy, I believe. Okay, cool. What's the other grandfather's name? I love how I picked everybody you didn't choose. Hell yeah, we knew they were going to do that to us. We knew it. Then a bunch of random jobs his whole life. Makes sense. Okay, James. Did James pass of something of the upper chest? He makes me feel like he has a hard time breathing. Feels like when you're breathing in exhaust and you're breathing, but it's not going anywhere. And that's what he notices toward the end. He goes, there wasn't any reaction time. Once it was the end, it was the end, he said. And then I feel like there's one little aim toward the chest. What? What do you mean? And then I'm like, okay, what was I just about to say? And then there's one little thing that we have in honor of his memory. Just a little bit. Aim toward his chest. Are you talking about... What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I got a feeling, just gotta confirm it. Ha. Took his life. That's why they take... that. Okay, people that take their own life, sometimes you do have to pull them through. Sometimes they don't just come through on their own. In fact, they're usually the last in line because they have to show a sign of respect and let other people come through. Ah! Okay, cool. He takes responsibility. He aimed it at his own chest and took his own life, okay? And he talks about how it's breathing and how it was all, how it really affected him in the upper chest. And he goes, and there wasn't no coming back from that. There's no coming back from a gunshot wound to the chest, ladies and gentlemen. Just not going to happen. And his chest was where he aimed, yes. Yup. Wow. He goes, I knew what I was doing. I shouldn't have done it at the moment I did. I should have planned it better, done a more courteous place, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not encouraging anything. I'm just translating what I'm hearing, ladies and gentlemen. And so he just talks about how it could have just been executed a little better and a little more fair. I feel like maybe someone was home. Maybe someone found them immediately. Maybe it was in a reaction to a overstimulating physical thing, like an argument. Yeah, his kids found him. Yeah. And that's where kind of held him up. I feel like it was kind of a reaction. Yeah. I feel like it was kind of, yeah, my dad was 16. I feel like it was kind of a reaction to something big, like, oh, your house is going to foreclose. And then you have like 6 kids, and holy crap, you know. But I think that it's something that's buildable out of. I think it's just a reaction to a physical life something, and you just do it. You just pull that trigger. You just make that choice before you have all of the factors of it. Woo! That hard to breathe definitely made it hard to breathe the entire time. That's for darn sure. Holy monkey. Exactly. Business deal went the wrong way, and he thought he was going to be out a lot of money. And what are the chances? That's also what Grandma wanted to talk about, was the business stuff. So I think that even if business still have the business today, yes, and I think that he could have gotten through it. I think it's nothing he couldn't have handled, and there would have been life in front of him. You know, it was just a business deal and the emotion of, oh no, and it just got caught up in it. Yep, and he thought it was over, and he did think it was over, and it simply wasn't, and you're totally right. And so he takes responsibility for that, and he said, I can't do any shoulda, coulda, wouldas, but it's a beautiful thing that got built because of all of that. And yeah, you're right. He thought it was over, and it was a reaction, and shoulda, coulda, woulda, and he couldn't put all the pieces back together, and he should have done it. Yep. The fear of 8 kids, wanted my grandma to get insurance money to take care of them. 100%. Remember how I was like, and this bad things happen, and you have 6 kids? Oh, excuse me. He had 8 kids. Excuse me, real quick. And he wanted his family to be well off. Everybody's fine though. But I totally understand and respect it. It should have been maybe done in a different way, but I'm not encouraging anything like that. So I can feel for him on both aspects. I can respect his decision, you know, but it's still held him back for a little while. His kids probably feel like they didn't get a lot of communication. Nobody would probably have a dream of him until he's been gone for 6 months, maybe even a year. The communication would feel really light, and it would build in intensity over time. Yeah, traumatized a few of the younger kids, right? And that's the problem, because it's the more trauma you cause, or the more damage you cause on the way out to other humans, like, that's what holds you back. So it makes a lot of sense. All right, cool, everybody. Love ya. That